land a flying, two-footed kick into a bandit and send him screaming off the edge of a roof and onto the zombie-filled streets below. Over the past 50 hours of Dying Light 2, this has become my singular goal. Kick dudes off roofs. The city is in peril, I have a dozen unfinished side quests in my journal, and my map is filled with icons imploring me to scavenge resources and discover new locations. Sorry, can't do any of that right now. Somewhere in the city, another bandit is standing too close to the edge of another rooftop. Dying Light 2 is a huge and exhilarating playground for crunchy, two-footed combat and satisfying first-person parkour. It doesn't start like that. There's a few long hours before the game really opens up and gets fun, and there's a lot of not-so-great storytelling along the way. But it's worth it. Welcome to Villador, a sprawling mess of crumbling buildings with zombies shambling through the streets and pockets of survivors camped out in safe zones. At first, parkour and combat feel slow and sluggish, but as I begin exploring and taking quests for the city's two factions, I earn new combat skills, including plenty of new ways to kick people, and my arsenal of weapons grows. My parkour skills increase too, and the city begins to feel less like a bunch of obstacles and more like a jungle gym. Eventually I get a paraglider I can use to sail over rooftops, and a grappling hook to swing around like Spider-Man. With all of these tools in play, Villador becomes a brilliant playground, a massive, zombie-filled puzzle I can solve by climbing, leaping, gliding, and swinging, and sometimes kicking. As for all those zombies, well, fighting them isn't nearly as much fun as mixing it up with living humans like bandit gangs, at least during the daytime. As in the original Dying Light, when night falls, traveling the city becomes incredibly dangerous as all the zombies grow much meaner and faster than their daytime counterparts. Finishing up a long mission and realizing night has fallen is a real oh crap moment, followed by a mad dash to a safe zone as warning bells sound across the city and the howls of the undead begin rising in my ears. Along with the tools to navigate the city, there's a system to change it as well. Completing parkour puzzles in certain buildings lets you turn over control of the building to one of the two factions, which will add new features to the district. Car bombs you can detonate, turrets that fling saw blades, or parkour tools like more zip lines, airbags, and jump pads. This control system really lets you shape the city into the type of playground you want it to be. The story is not great. The characters are also not great, though Rosario Dawson stands out as the character of Lawan. She's basically the Alex Vance of Villador, in that she seems oddly untouched by the apocalypse, upbeat and charming, a nice change from the overly gruff soldiers and gluey survivors. And there are a few surprises I didn't see coming, both in the side quests and in the main story. I got a strong performance with my RTX 2080 and 16 gigs of RAM, running Dying Light 2 with a solid 80 to 90 FPS all over the city on high settings. There were a few bugs, mostly minor ones, and I do expect there will be a day one patch. Hopefully it addresses them. Techland said Dying Light 2 would take players 500 hours to fully complete everything, and after playing, I almost believe it. Dying Light 2 is a big game. The city is massive, filled with activities and random encounters and rooftop skirmishes, and even with a glider and grappling hook, just crossing a single district takes a good long time. After the 50 hours it took me to complete the main quest, about a dozen side quests, and a bunch of other activities, I still have plenty to do in Dying Light 2, and I'm keen to keep playing. Even after wrapping up the story, there are still a bunch of skills I haven't unlocked, quests I haven't started, and large sections of the city I've barely set foot in. Not to mention, plenty of bandits I have yet to set foot on.